Jessica Thomason walked along the narrow, cobblestone streets of New Orleans' French Quarter, the humid evening air clinging to her skin like a second dress. Her simple black attire, a stark contrast to the vibrant, celebratory hues of the wedding guests, felt like a uniform of her quiet rebellion. Tonight, her younger sister, Emily Thomason, was marrying into old money, a union celebrated in the opulent grandeur of the Royal Pavilion, one of New Orleans' most historic and luxurious venues. Jessica's eyes, usually bright with artistic curiosity, were now clouded with a familiar melancholy, a suppressed pain etched deep into the lines around her mouth. She knew, with a certainty that chilled her to the bone, that her presence at this lavish affair was nothing more than a performative formality, a stage where she would once again be paraded as the unworthy and disappointing member of the esteemed Thomason family. Jessica and Emily, though sisters by blood, inhabited entirely different universes within the Thomason household. Emily was the quintessential golden child, a beacon of academic brilliance, captivating beauty, and effortless charm. From her earliest days, every one of Emily's achievements, from topping her school to graduating summa cum laude from law school, was celebrated as a testament to the family's superior lineage. Their parents, Mr. Robert Thomason and Mrs. Sarah Thomason, formidable figures who owned and operated Thomason and Associates, a renowned and influential law firm in New Orleans, never missed an opportunity to boast about Emily. Emily, with her sharp legal mind and unwavering ambition, had seamlessly followed in their footsteps, joining the firm and rapidly ascending to a significant partnership, fulfilling every expectation laid before her. Jessica, however, was a different creature altogether. Quiet, introspective, and possessed by an unyielding passion for art, her world revolved around capturing fleeting moments through the lens of her camera. Her dream was to become a successful photographer, to translate the raw, unfiltered beauty of the world into tangible images. Yet, this dream was consistently met with her parents' dismissive disdain. They labeled it unrealistic, a frivolous waste of time, and a hobby utterly incompatible with the Thomason family's esteemed social standing and professional gravitas. "Jessica, when will you finally face reality?" Her father, Robert Thomason, would often thunder, his voice laced with palpable irritation. "Look at Emily. She's building a real career, a legacy. She's upholding the family name. And you? What good will your picture-taking ever do? Does it pay the bills? Do you honestly expect us to foot your photography expenses in our retirement? It's an embarrassment." Her mother, Sarah Thomason, a woman meticulously groomed for social appearances, often treated Jessica with a chilling detachment. Jessica's very presence seemed to mar the perfect family portrait Sarah so painstakingly curated. Jessica's childhood was a tapestry woven with threads of neglect, subtle slights, and overt humiliation. Emily's every triumph, loudly proclaimed and endlessly praised, felt like a silent, searing blow to Jessica's already fragile self-esteem. Despite the emotional gauntlet she knew awaited her, Jessica had accepted the invitation to Emily's wedding. It was, she understood, a mere obligation, a public display of family unity that was anything but. The night before the wedding, at the opulent rehearsal dinner in the Royal Pavilion's grand ballroom, Jessica, armed with her new camera, attempted to capture some candid moments. Her mother, Mrs. Thomason, her voice cutting through the polite chatter, had publicly admonished her. "Jessica, are you still indulging in these childish antics? Today is Emily's momentous day. At least try to behave with some decorum. Your incessant hovering with that camera is tarnishing our family's reputation. Do you wish for our guests to mock us?" Jessica's eyes had welled up, her hand trembling so violently that the camera almost slipped from her grasp. Words failed her. She could only stand there, head bowed, a silent testament to her shame. Emily, perched elegantly beside her fiancé David, had offered a smirk, a fleeting, triumphant smile that seemed to relish Jessica's public humiliation. David, an ambitious and calculating investment banker, had regarded Jessica with a dismissive glance, as if she were an irritating, insignificant insect to be swatted away on the morning of the wedding. A sense of dread had settled deep within Jessica. As she entered Emily's lavish bridal suite, a whirlwind of stylists, makeup artists, and bridesmaids buzzed around her sister. Emily, resplendent in her expensive silk gown, had greeted Jessica with a saccharine smile. "Jessica, are you still wearing that same old dress? Mother offered to buy you something new, but you always refuse. Don't you want to command a little respect within our family? Don't you want everyone to remark, another beautiful daughter of the Thomason family?" Jessica had simply stared, her gaze unwavering. She knew Emily's words were carefully chosen barbs designed to wound. The makeup artists and hairstylists, a flurry of French accents and expensive perfumes, had cast fleeting, judgmental glances at Jessica, treating her as if she were an unwelcome intruder, a lesser being. Jessica felt an invisible barrier separating her from the glittering spectacle, a glass wall through which she could observe, but never truly belong. As the wedding ceremony commenced and guests began to fill the ornate pews, Jessica retreated to a secluded corner, her camera a shield against the intrusive gazes. Her parents, beaming with pride, introduced Emily to every influential guest, their voices ringing with thinly veiled triumph. "Our Emily, she's now a successful lawyer at Thomason and Associates. And her husband, David, he's a renowned investment banker, quite the name on Wall Street." But Jessica's name remained unspoken. When a curious relative inquired about her, her mother would offer a dismissive wave. "Oh, she's busy with her photography. She's not a professional like us. She doesn't have a stable career yet." Her father would interject, his tone dripping with faux concern. "We tried tirelessly to make her see reason, but she's always been so stubbornly artistic." Jessica felt like an alien in her own family, an unwanted relic, an unnecessary piece of furniture. Her heart ached with a familiar, profound loneliness, but she refused to crumble. This humiliation, she vowed, would only forge her into something stronger. A fierce, unshakable belief ignited within her. One day, she would prove her worth, not for their approval, but for herself. At the wedding reception, as the band played a lively jazz tune and guests danced, laughed, and toasted with champagne, Jessica sought refuge on a quiet balcony, her phone clutched in her hand. The New Orleans night sky, a velvet canvas studded with a million stars, offered a fleeting solace, but her heart remained a cavern of emptiness. Then a sudden vibration. A text message. It was from her grandfather, Mr. Arthur Thomason, the revered founder of Thomason and Associates and a legendary legal mind in New Orleans. He had been Jessica's sole champion, her unwavering supporter. He had always respected and nurtured her artistic spirit, encouraging her love for photography. Arthur Thomason had passed away a month prior, leaving Jessica feeling even more adrift. Her grandfather had been her anchor, the only one who truly understood her and valued her dreams. The text message, however, sent a jolt of disbelief through her. How could her grandfather text her from beyond the grave? She quickly realized it must have been a message scheduled before his passing. Her grandfather, with his profound understanding of human nature, had likely anticipated the emotional gauntlet Jessica would face at this wedding, knowing she would be humiliated and emotionally vulnerable. He had always imparted wisdom, saying, "Jessica, a person's true worth isn't measured by their bank balance, but by their integrity, their dreams, and their humanity." The text read, "Jessica, I know exactly where you are right now. I know you're hurting. But remember, your grandfather loves you more than words can say. I've left a gift for you, a final testament to my faith in you. Go to my old study room tonight, precisely at midnight. You'll find a blue file there, tucked away. It's for you and only for you. Remember, my dear, the truth always, always finds its way to the light." Jessica's heart pounded in her chest. A gift? A blue file? Her grandfather's words, even from the grave, resonated with an unwavering certainty. She felt a surge of emotions, grief for his loss, astonishment at his foresight, and a nascent spark of hope. The knowledge that her grandfather had not forgotten her, that he was still looking out for her even in this darkest hour, filled her with a newfound strength. As the clock in the French Quarter chimed midnight, Jessica slipped away from the fading festivities and made her way to her grandfather's old study room. The room was shrouded in darkness, permeated by the comforting, familiar scent of aged leather and old books. She flicked on the light, illuminating shelves overflowing with legal tomes and dusty artifacts. Her gaze fell upon a small, unassuming blue file, tucked precisely where his text had indicated. Her hands trembled as she opened it, and what she found within sent a shockwave through her entire being. Inside the file was a meticulously drafted will, along with a stack of highly confidential documents. The will explicitly stated that Arthur Thomason had bequeathed his entire estate, including the vast majority of shares in Thomason and Associates, to Jessica. But there was more. He had also established a secret, substantial trust fund specifically for Jessica, designed to empower her to pursue her photography and artistic passions without financial constraint. The will further stipulated, with an almost poetic justice, that Robert and Emily Thomason, due to their blatant greed and their cruel, consistent mistreatment of Jessica, would receive only a minuscule, symbolic portion of the estate. Arthur Thomason's will was a masterpiece of legal precision and emotional clarity. He had unequivocally stated that the integrity, creativity, and profound foresight he had witnessed in Jessica were qualities conspicuously absent in his other heirs. He believed, with every fiber of his being, that Jessica alone possessed the moral compass and vision to truly honor and guide his legacy. Jessica stared at the documents, her mind reeling. It was unbelievable. Her grandfather, her quiet champion, had left her such an extraordinary gift. It wasn't merely a transfer of wealth, it was a profound validation of her worth, a powerful reclamation of her self-respect, and an unprecedented opportunity to finally live her dreams, unburdened by the family's scorn. The next morning, the Thomason family breakfast table, usually a scene of polite, strained conversation, became a battleground. Jessica, armed with the blue file, calmly presented the will to her parents and Emily. Their initial reaction was a mixture of disbelief and furious denial. "This is preposterous," her father, Robert Thomason, roared, his face contorted with rage. "Arthur would never do such a thing. Jessica, you've undoubtedly orchestrated some elaborate fraud." Emily, her face a mask of venomous accusation, chimed in, "Yes, Jessica, this is just like you. You'd stoop to any level to snatch our rightful inheritance." But as Jessica meticulously laid out the will and the accompanying irrefutable documents, their furious protests died in their throats. Their faces, once flushed with anger, turned ashen. Their greed and arrogance, once so formidable, crumbled into dust. Robert Thomason's jaw hung slack, his eyes wide with shock. Emily's triumphant wedding glow vanished, replaced by a look of utter devastation. David, Emily's husband, who had always exuded an air of smug superiority, was rendered speechless, his carefully constructed world collapsing around him. Jessica, her voice steady and clear, addressed them, her words carrying the weight of years of unspoken pain. "You always belittled me. You never once took my dreams seriously. You dismissed me as a failure. But my grandfather, he believed in me. He knew what I was capable of. He didn't just bestow upon me his property, he restored my self-respect. He gave me the chance to prove you all wrong." Emily, her voice barely a whisper, looked at Jessica, a flicker of genuine remorse in her eyes. "Jessica, I'm so sorry. I truly misunderstood you. I don't know what we've done." Jessica offered a small, knowing smile. "I forgive you, Emily. But from this day forward, I will forge my own path. I will honor my grandfather's vision. Thomason and Associates will now operate under my leadership." Jessica's ascension to CEO of Thomason and Associates was nothing short of a revolution. She immediately dismantled the firm's archaic, conservative policies, injecting a fresh, dynamic energy. She recruited a new generation of brilliant, socially conscious lawyers who championed modern legal practices and technological innovation. Jessica, leveraging her profound understanding of art and her photographic eye, established a groundbreaking new department dedicated to art and copyright law. She infused the firm's marketing and branding with her unique artistic vision, transforming Thomason and Associates from a staid legal institution into a vibrant, socially responsible enterprise. The firm actively invested in community projects, uplifting the lives of underprivileged individuals in New Orleans and championing artists' rights. Under Jessica's visionary leadership, the firm's revenue soared, reaching unprecedented heights. Robert and Emily, who had once dismissed Jessica as insignificant, now found themselves working under her command. Jessica, however, harbored no desire for petty revenge. Instead, she respected their legal acumen, utilizing their experience while subtly guiding them towards a more ethical and compassionate approach to their work. Their old arrogance, once an impenetrable shield, shattered, replaced by a grudging respect and a dawning realization that true power resided not in wealth or status, but in integrity, foresight, and genuine humanity. Jessica's extraordinary story resonated throughout New Orleans, transforming her into a powerful symbol of inspiration. Her journey proved that true success transcended mere financial gain or social standing. It was about pursuing one's authentic dreams and proving one's inherent worth, regardless of the obstacles. Her grandfather's unwavering trust and profound love had not only bestowed upon her a vast inheritance, but had also forged her into a true leader. Jessica Thomason, now a respected and highly successful businesswoman in New Orleans, had not only kept her grandfather's dream alive, but had also meticulously crafted a new, powerful identity for herself. Her story stood as an enduring testament to the fact that silence and patience, when wielded with purpose, could be the most potent forms of revenge. Not merely vanquishing adversaries, but also facilitating a profound journey of self-discovery and transformation. The Thomason family, once defined by its rigid traditions and internal strife, began to heal under Jessica's compassionate yet firm leadership. She instituted regular family meetings, not for legal discussions, but to foster genuine communication and understanding. She encouraged Emily to explore her own passions beyond the confines of corporate law, subtly guiding her towards pro bono work that resonated with Emily's latent desire for social impact. Robert and Sarah, initially resistant, slowly began to shed their ingrained prejudices, witnessing firsthand the positive ripple effect of Jessica's leadership on both the firm and their community. They saw the respect she commanded, not through fear or inherited power, but through genuine empathy and innovative vision. The old Thomason and Associates, a monument to cold, hard law, was reborn as a beacon of justice and artistic advocacy, a testament to Arthur Thomason's true legacy, realized through the granddaughter they had once deemed a disgrace. Jessica's journey was a powerful narrative of resilience, a reminder that the greatest victories are often won not on battlefields, but in the quiet strength of one's conviction, transforming not just her own destiny, but the very fabric of her family's future. Her story became a legend whispered in the vibrant streets of New Orleans, a tale of how a single text, a grandfather's unwavering faith, and a young woman's indomitable spirit could rewrite the rules of inheritance, justice, and family itself. The once-mocked art school dropout had become the architect of a new era, proving that true wealth lies in the richness of one's character and the courage to stand for what is right, even when standing alone. The final chapter of the Thomason saga was not one of bitter defeat for her parents, but a quiet, profound re-education, a slow dawning of understanding that their daughter, the artist, had indeed built something real. Something far more valuable than any financial empire. She had built a legacy of heart.